For generations, astronomers have promised mankind that the universe, although enormous and enigmatic, was governed by known patterns. Celestial bodies, they promised, were bound by physics and gravity with no exceptions. Occasionally, however, something arrives in our solar system that does not play by the rules, something that defies not just our science but our own perception of cosmic isolation. That something is 3E Atlas. Early on, it was brushed off as merely another comet, but its abnormal speed, path, and wild antics soon made scientists consider a much more disturbing alternative, one that disrupts everything we think we know about space, that maybe this thing isn't natural. Early on, the world thought it would merely pass by the sun and be lost forever in the space void. But that assumption was broken when 3E Atlas did the unthinkable. It turned around. Even Elon Musk openly expressed that its movement attested to what many senior scientists had already begun to suspect: this might not be a comet, but an alien ship masquerading as one. Tonight we reveal the chilling evidence, the omens that were disregarded, and the possible implications of what it might mean if this enigmatic visitor isn't just passing by, but is, in truth, here for us. When 3E Atlas was originally discovered by the Atlas Survey Telescope, it was thought to be an ordinary piece of frozen debris, one among millions of fragments lost in the galaxy. But just days afterward, calculations showed something remarkable. Its velocity was greater than 255,000 kilometers per hour, much more than any known comet can travel without some external force pushing it. Traveling at that speed, it could span the entire continental United States in less than 2 minutes. Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb and his colleagues looked at the data and made a chilling determination. There was a 99% chance that this object was not simply under the natural force of gravity. To travel at that speed, a comet would have to have an extra form of propulsion, something internal, something intentional. That was when rumors started going around among scientists. What if 3E Atlas wasn't even a comet? Suppose it was a spaceship artfully camouflaged in the icy shell of a comet. Its unbelievable speed was unusual enough, but its path rendered the enigma even greater. Comets have typically wild orbits, careening wildly throughout the solar system. 3E Atlas, however, traveled with purpose, moving exactly along the orbital plane of the planets, the same flat disk that Earth, Mars, Venus, and Jupiter orbit. Even more troubling, it performed a series of close flybys of planets that felt less like random chance and more like deliberate actions. In space travel, these are called gravity assists, a method employed by NASA and the European Space Agency to deflect spacecraft by stealing planet momentum without expending fuel. For a so-called comet to carry out these very maneuvers on repeated occasions flouted every astronomical possibility. Loeb put the chances at 1 in 20,000. This was not chance drifting, it was directed flight, leaving behind the clear fingerprints of intelligent guidance. If 3E Atlas is indeed a machine, then its masquerade is pure genius. A comet provides ideal camouflage. Covered in shells of ice and dust, it shields whatever is inside from micrometeoroids and radiation while looking fully natural to any viewer from a distance. When it approaches the sun, the sublimating ice leaves behind a glowing coma and long tail, successfully concealing its center from examination and obscuring any artificial heat or electromagnetic signals. NASA itself has studied the application of ice shielding for deep space exploration, and they attested to its success. For 3E Atlas, this natural veil blinds telescopes, interferes with radar imaging, and even disorients the James Webb Space Telescope's infrared measurements. To a technological civilization, this would be the ultimate stealth. To us, it appears to be a frosty relic. To them, it may be a Trojan horse. Now, in the opinion of both Elon Musk and Avi Loeb, human civilization finally has the technology to detect such fraud, and the timing couldn't be more ominous. 3E Atlas is headed to pass behind the sun in late October 2025, vanishing entirely from Earth's observation for a few weeks. In that blackout, there'll be no optical tracking, no radar contact, and no communication at all. Normally, such blind spots are normal for Mars-bound spacecraft, but this one has much more malevolent consequences. If 3E Atlas is controlled by intelligence, then this blind spot is the ideal window to reverse direction, initiate concealed propulsion systems, or execute maneuvers we won't even realize until it returns, and on an entirely new path. That day, we'll finally know the truth. When 3 Atlas made its closest pass by the Sun, astronomers predicted it would just keep going out into interstellar space, as had Oumuamua and Comet Borisov previously. But instead of that, something impossible happened. It slowed down, changed direction, and turned back. This was not some errant wobble or burst of sublimating ice pushing it off course. It was a controlled reorientation. Natural celestial objects do not reverse, the laws of orbital dynamics simply do not permit it. However, 3 Atlas broke those rules. Elon Musk's response was coldly to the point, *, if it can change course, then it's not a rock, it's a ship. *. Behind words of officially expressed denial, there was silence, a deafening silence. Shortly thereafter, telescopes started picking up faint glows moving in formation with 3 Atlas. Originally explained away as sensor noise, these lights were subsequently verified to be true. But they did not disperse like fragments of a comet, which typically spread out randomly. These bodies drifted together, keeping formation and shifting their relative positions with accuracy no natural process could account for. Were they mini-probes? Escort vehicles? A fleet? Whatever, one thing became certain, 3 Atlas was not alone. This is where fear becomes real. If 3 Atlas has deliberately turned back, if it goes with companions, then its mission is not mere observation. For centuries, humanity dreamed of first contact as a far-off radio signal, a message in the void. What if first contact is not a signal? What if it is a ship, silently looking on, measuring, and testing? Governments must now confront a frightening situation, disclose the whole thing and invite worldwide panic, or keep it under wraps and hope this visitor leaves before compelling evidence becomes available. But silence gives no defense. Elon Musk's warning is heavy with the weight of prophecy, *, this is what we feared all along. * 3 Atlas was all that it was meant to be, ice and dust. Comets do not alter course. Comets do not travel in entourages. Comets do not replicate communication signals. And yet, this one does. That only leaves one conclusion: this is not a visitor by chance. It is a deliberate presence. Its return is no coincidence, it is a decision. And that choice compels us to ask the deepest questions of all. Why now? Have they been lurking around before, hidden, waiting for us to finally see them? Or is this the start of something much bigger? The government's silence, the agency's secrecy, and the mysterious warnings from those who know more than they should, all of it makes for a chilling scenario. The reality can never be declared publicly. It can arrive quietly, from the shadows. Since 3 Atlas has turned back, and in so doing has ratified our deepest fear. We are not alone, and the universe could have known us much longer than we ever dared to dream.